Every game needs an easy mode.
No, they don't. But today, guys, I just found the dumbest video I just saw in my life. Like, I was just going through social media, and the first thing I see is this video from 2 years ago where it's sitting at 2K views, which I have no idea how I got 2K views. I thought we would get more than that. But the like to dislike ratio on this video, which I'll be naming it, it's called Why Every Game Needs an Easy Mode on the Level. But apparently, yeah, we need an easy mode in every video game that comes out, which I think is actually funny. But there's actually achievements and such that if you complete a hardest difficulty, you get the achievement. But today it's by freaking Gaming Bible, which I usually look at their website like whenever I feel convenient for like gaming news and such. But I want you guys to look at the like dislike ratio. And also, there's this comment I saw that has been pinned by a random dude. It's this brilliant video. The type of person who objects to difficulty settings would probably argue that people in wheelchairs shouldn't be allowed to use lifts and such, should learn to use the stairs like able-bodied person. That's the worst thing I've ever seen in my freaking life. The worst comparison to a freaking video game. I think a recent example of the game that got this just right is Shadow of the Tomb Raider. There are three separate difficulty settings: combat, exploration, and puzzles. Whether you love story-based exploration or insanely challenging combat and unforgiving puzzles, it caters for everyone. You'll be able to enjoy the game in the way you enjoy playing. Okay, that wheelchair comparison is 100% dumb and garbage. Like, who's gonna compare a freaking handicapped person to a freaking video game? Like, this is the dumbest thing I've seen in my life. But you know what? Let's watch the fail as it gets even worse.
You just need to learn to deal with it. This is On the Level. It's a truth universally acknowledged among gamers that playing a video game on the easiest mode makes you a loser. Sorry, I don't make the rules, that's just the way it is.
I mean, there has been video games made fun of people for playing on the easiest difficulty. Just look it up, guys. It's hilarious.
Just because you'd rather sit and enjoy the experience at a pace and level that feels comfortable to you, you're apparently somehow less of a gamer, as if that's ever been a quantifiable concept.
Have you guys played Twisted Metal? Like, if you play the game on easy difficulty, you only play like the first two levels or whatever, and they tell you, go play normal difficulty if you want to beat the game. Because, the game likes to punish people for playing on the easiest difficulty. There's also some games that mock them for playing easy. Like, the Doom and Wolfenstein series, like, it shows like a little baby and the names of the easy difficulty, which is hilarious to me.
Let's be honest with ourselves though, there's absolutely nothing wrong with wanting to play video games on easy mode. In fact, I'd like to go ahead and suggest that every single video game out there needs to start including an easy or assist mode as industry standard.
Why? Because you're bad at video games? Okay.
Yes, even games like Dark Souls. I'm sure some of you are outraged at such a suggestion, so let's take From Software's super challenging franchise as our first example, because I think as a series it's a good jumping on point for a discussion about accessibility and difficulty in video games.
I don't know if anyone told you before you made the video, once you keep progressing on the game, the easier it's going to get. You just gotta learn, dude.
As far as I see it, there are two main arguments against the Dark Souls easy mode. The first is something that the internet likes to refer to as get good, which is essentially shorthand for, if you can't play it as it is, you shouldn't be playing it at all.
Oh my gosh, this guy really got offended over someone telling him to get good at the freaking Dark Souls game? Like, you can't make this up.
The get good argument, yet we're sticking with that, is utter nonsense of course.
Actually, it's good criticism, dude. It's like, what you're supposed to do is that you're supposed to teach people how to be good at a freaking video game. You get advice, you get strategy from other people on YouTube and guides. Like, hey, how you do this? Or, figure out by yourself to figure out, oh, okay, I need to learn the pattern of this enemy. And then once I learn the pattern or the animation of the character, then I know what I'm doing, and then that's how you beat the enemy. You need strategy in order to beat the freaking game.
There are dozens of reasons why someone might not want to or even be able to play a game like Dark Souls the way it is. Maybe they're a parent and have limited time to game in the evenings, so can't sink the hours required to learn the moves and patterns of the franchise's famously demanding boss battles.
What you said was 100% false. Like, most people now these days play games at nighttime after working. Yes, that is a literal thing. I know people for a fact that actually plays games at night after work, and I can tell you that for a fact that I can be one of those people too. Most of the people that, like I said, most people that I know actually play the games at night after work. And that's what most people now these days do. And that's why most games have higher numbers in video games when it comes to nighttime. You can't make this up.
Maybe they live with some form of disability that means they literally can't play the game the way it is.
And now they're using the disability argument. Oh my goodness. Like, it's like you're telling me that a handicapped person can't play on the hardest difficulty. I've seen people like that play in the hardest difficulty, and for some reason they have like a limitation of like, movement. You can always use the Xbox controller thing for those things. Like, I understand that. I mean, I understand that one. I mean, I'm not gonna like disagree on that. But using the disability as an excuse to like to play games, like, not to play games in a harder difficulty is just utter dumb.
Does that really mean that they should be missing out? Whatever the case, it doesn't strike me as entirely fair that people who want to play a game like Dark Souls are unable to because of the difficulty level.
Like I said before, you have to have strategy and patience. Once it comes to playing games like Dark Souls, you need a strategy. You need to figure out what sort of pattern of what they're going to do. Once you figure that out, you can beat the game. I don't understand how hard it is to not understand this.
When some kind of optional assist mode could easily remedy this and help scores of gamers discover the game's gorgeous, interconnected world and fearsome bosses. Those that are against Dark Souls having easy mode tend to be super vocal about it. But here's the thing, how does it really actually affect them if other people are able to play on an easy setting? Would these people honestly suddenly be unable to enjoy the challenge of Dark Souls just because they know there's an assist mode of some kind in the menu? A mode they would never ever have to turn on because they were able to get good without any help? I've beaten all 3 Dark Souls games and Bloodborne. I love how challenging these titles are, but knowing someone else was able to beat it on an easier setting would do nothing to lessen my enjoyment of them. It shouldn't for anybody.
You say you love Dark Souls and the challenging difficulty, but you're gonna make a video defending easy mode over a hard video game. Like, you can't make this up.
The second argument against having an easy mode in Dark Souls is one that does come from a place of logic and reason rather than blind, dismissive elitism, and it's one that could be extended against the concept of assist modes in general. This argument suggests that Dark Souls is an intrinsically challenging game, and that its difficulty is a key, perhaps unavoidable, part of the experience.
Oh my goodness, how is it taking away, like, the experience? Like, the whole experience of the freaking game is for you to learn how to get good at a freaking video game, strategize, have patience when it comes to taking out enemies, and stuff like that. Like, what are you even on about, dude? That's the whole idea of a Dark Souls video game. Not only that, but like the father of a freaking video game like that, freaking Shadow Tower, is just like the same thing, except it's in first-person mode. Oh, and believe it or not, the reason why I'm bringing up Shadow Tower is because it's made by the same people, believe it or not.
Shouldn't a developer from software be able to craft and release its game and have people experience it in the way they intended?
Yes, because they want to give the players a challenge of an experience. What do you think?
Shouldn't every developer have that right? It's an interesting point, though one that could be countered by the notion that players should be able to play games however they want. I mean, if someone can play through Dark Souls on a potato or with a set of Guitar Hero drums, why can't someone else play through on an easy mode? It's absolutely understandable for a developer to want you to play through their game in a specific way.
You know, they're playing on a potato and a drum set is because of a challenge. They're giving themselves a new way to have a challenge in a freaking Dark Souls game. Why is this such a bad thing of them trying to have their own challenges, but when it comes to easy mode, you're gonna cry and whine about it not being included in the freaking game? You can't make this up. Like I said before, like Ninja Gaiden, like everyone said it was the hardest thing, and guess what? They included easy mode but here's the twist: they give you a pink, like ribbon on your arm. It just tells you something. It's like they're calling you the baby of the game.
But should this be done at the expense of certain players? Surely, as long as the developer makes it clear that there is an intended way to play, then the majority will be happy to play through it that way, and the rest can still experience the game in some capacity.
It's supposed to be challenging. How many times do I have to say this? Okay, let me say this again, in case you don't get it. The whole purpose of Dark Souls was supposed to be so hard. You're supposed to learn everything from the game, learn your mistakes, learn the pattern. Alright, do I need to say this again?
I imagine there are plenty of inexperienced gamers who might even see playing a game like Dark Souls on easy mode as a way of easing into the game before playing through in the proper way. What would be wrong with that?
Like I said before, what's wrong with it, you ask? I'll tell you again, since you can't even get this clear up your head. Like, I'm just losing myself after watching this dumb video. You're supposed to learn strategy and patience.
The notion of a developer's singular vision and a player's right to enjoy a game in the manner of their choosing are bound to butt heads, but there are plenty of recent and outstanding games that had a clear intended way to play, but still managed to offer plenty of accessibility options so that as many people as possible could get in on the fun. So let's take a look at a couple of assist modes from recent games and talk about what they did right.
Okay, the whole next section was him just arguing having Mario involved about easy mode or whatever, and this part's just freaking boring, so I'm skipping ahead because there's this one dumb comparison he just put in the freaking game. Just watch. You guys are gonna lose your heads after hearing this.
There are those that would no doubt argue that when they were young, they had to play Mario games without an easy mode, as if that should mean anything to any of us. So what if you didn't have assist modes back in your day? We didn't have Nando's or wireless broadband either, and the world's better for having both of those in it. Honestly, trying to argue that a Super Mario game shouldn't have any kind of an easy mode is like insisting that your kid tried to ride a bike for the first time without stabilizers.
I still find it funny that he's still comparing video games to real world problems. My gosh, what is wrong with you? Like, no wonder why you pinned that dumb comment I've seen. Like, this is just like the freaking pinned comment. I swear.
It's utterly pointless elitism, and I've got no time for it.
You obviously had the time and day to talk about it, otherwise you wouldn't be making this video defending easy mode. Just like that one girl streamer says that you shouldn't be shaming people for putting easy mode, or at least playing it on stream. Like, you can't make this up. There's a little streamer, a freaking girl streamer, was crying because people were apparently shaming her for playing easy mode. Like, girl, I know who you freaking are look like. I seen your freaking clips. They're freaking cringeworthy. They look like someone made them on freaking TikTok and whatever. But oh my gosh, your argument there is so dumb. Alright, so the next section, more parts, is just him, like, talk about, it's assist modes once again, and just constantly repeating himself. So I'm saving you guys time and day to, I don't know, I'm going to skip this part just to the end, and we'll see what happens.
I guess your opinion on whether games should have assist modes or easy modes or anything of the sort all comes down to who you think gets to decide what the right way to play a game is, if you even think such a thing exists. Personally, I think they're the future. Celeste and Super Mario Odyssey picked up a ton of Game of the Year awards in their respective release years, and the Resident Evil 2 remake is bound to do exactly the same. The extra accessibility features to help as many people as possible didn't stop any of those games from being beloved gameplay experiences exactly in the way the developer intended, and probably helped overall sales and goodwill while making zero difference to anyone who decided to play these games without such features enabled. So next time someone tells you they think Dark Souls shouldn't have an easy mode, next time they try and tell you that assist modes are pointless, maybe have a think about it.
This guy's whole argument is that, oh, if we should put easy mode, it'll be the best seller game of all time. I don't know about that, Chief. Freaking Dark Souls was the hardest game of all time, and it became the best-selling game and won several awards, believe it or not. I mean, look at the Soul series. They won several awards despite the difficulty. Maybe you should be the one thinking about that. Maybe you should be the one thinking before making such a fail like this. But anyways, guys, that's it for today. I'm sick of this video. I'm ready to go play some Outriders and that new freaking Star Wars game that I got on Switch, though. Rogue Leader or whatever, like, the one they're supposed to be tactical and everything. I can't wait to play those games. Like, I mean, I've somewhat played the Star Wars game before, but you know what? I'm gonna give it a try on Switch. I mean, these guys did an amazing job on these Star Wars ports, believe it or not. I mean, I'm actually enjoying the best time of my life. But anyways, see you guys next time.